that sun out of the way. Get these off too. Welcome to another episode of The Edge Whitetails. I'm Eric Johnston. Another bow hunt tonight. Delena's still on the fence about using that muzzleloader. She's not too sure. I think she feels not quite confident in her shooting with it, which I feel like she's in good shape on it, but I'd rather err on the side of caution on that with her if that's how she's feeling. So we're bow hunting tonight, October 18th. It's warm, it's windy, as you can see, and I'm going to hunt a stand tonight that's really good on a south wind. It's probably been getting the closest to daylight buck movement of any stand I've got thus far. Like I said, it's October 18th. We're getting closer, but going into another warm spell, and that just seems to be the general theme of the fall thus far. But we're going to give it a shot tonight, see what happens. Stick with us here on this latest episode of The Edge Whitetails. So as you can see, I've got the Ranger tucked in there amongst these willows there. And one of my tactics is I'm not parked all that far from the stand. I've got about 100 yards to go, but these deer are so used to me being in and out of here with the Ranger or the lawnmower that honestly they're going to be more spooked. This is like a tractor to them. They may look at it and walk back into the woods a little ways, hang out, and then once it's gone, go right back to what they're doing. So one of my tactics in the evening is to tuck this thing in. They hear it, but then I can slide into a stand and generally kind of stay undetected, I feel like. So as we get a little further in here, I'll probably start parking further back out, but they've been so used to me through August, September, well, basically all year, driving in and out. So I'm going to make my way, set up on this October 18th evening. We've been so dry here in northeast Iowa. In my time hunting this property, I don't think I've seen that creek dry up like that. As you see, none of the field tiles are running. That creek's dry as a bone. I haven't seen that even last year, as dry as it got, but and that's just happened over the last week. I mean, you've seen Delana and I utilizing that to sneak in and out. I'll still utilize it as far as staying out of vision. So you can probably get up and down it quicker, maybe even a little quieter, but dry, dry, dry. the stand. And as you can see there, the trouble with this stand, I call it the road corner stand. It's where everything kind of comes together. In this river bottom, as you might imagine, there's not a lot of topography. But that right there is a dried up pond. And that right there is a dried up pond. And this is our access road coming in. So this is normally a land bridge that they're used to walking on anyway. The trouble with the topography in here is you have to have a dead south wind. And it still wants to swirl on me a little bit, as you probably just saw right there. But a dead south wind you can get away with, because the deer, a lot of them bed right back in there. There's a thick, I'll call it a ridge, but it's not really a ridge. It's about 5 foot higher than the river bottom. And they'll come right up through here, and they'll come out right there. Got a mock scrape right there. And then they don't go right out the road. They'll angle out this way and go out to their destination food field is off to the northwest. The other thing about this stand is this is the very back south end of the west thicket. And right there is the entrance to where, if you go back to February, March videos, that's where I made the Whitetail Hotel. That's the start of that trail where all them different bedrooms are at. So the reason I call this the corner stand is it's like a road system where all these corners come together, and they come out of there, they come from the north, and they come from the access road coming from the food plots. So all in all, it's in a fantastic spot as far as travel wise, but it's very iffy with the wind, with the different, that right there is basically a wall, and it pushes the wind in a circle. And the ponds also, with that open area in the timber, get to swirling too, and it's basically a wind nightmare. But I still hunt it nonetheless. I think I've been busted in it a time or two, but not to the point where they actually look up and know I'm here. So on my walk in, there was a doe and her yearling bedded just off the trail here to the north in that dried up pond. So kind of bumped them. They didn't really know what I was, but I don't think it really hurt anything. She didn't snort or nothing like that. So should be a good sit. I'm going to shut up. I just like to explain my setups and maybe why I'm set up like I am. Hopefully bring you guys some deer action tonight. It's been pretty slow on the videos the last couple weeks. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. So we'll have good action coming up, I promise you. A lot of good deer on cameras, a lot of deer in the property. So gonna settle in and have a beautiful evening here. Thanks for watching The Edge Outdoors. Already messed up The Edge Whitetails. I can't make out what that is, but something definitely had a meal on that tree limb. It's actually kind of creepy. It looks like a bird of some sort, but something drug it up there and had a meal. The things you see in the wild. Ma nature is undefeated, and ma nature can be very cruel sometimes. Not exactly how I think I'd want to go. So, I will say this. While I don't like that it's necessarily warm, I mean, it'd be better hunting if we had a, 15-degree less temp, but I tell you, you can't hardly beat October with the nice weather and sitting out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just kind of watching the woods do their thing. So I know you all get tired of hearing me talk, but just one of those things, we kind of tend to hold off on getting in the stand in October. But when you do get a chance and it's this nice out, it sure makes a really nice sit. Sure beats the heck out of super cold and having hot hands and all that stuff. But just have to get that out there. So if you get a chance, just go out and sit. Don't necessarily hit your best stance, of course, but on those fringes, get out and hunt. That's what we wait for all year. So. She is exactly dead downwind of me. I think, honestly, that's the doe I bumped earlier, getting in here. She's just foraging in that dried up pond bed. I've seen them do that in years past. These ponds almost become little food plots with natural browse and forage. Very cool. It adds a little bit more to the property plus the food plots we planted. So pretty neat deal. But she's a big old doe, but it's so warm tonight. Even if she comes right up to me, I don't think I'm going to fill that doe tag just yet. Although she'd probably be a good one to take out. She's big. she just fed around in here what seemed like forever. She kind of caught a little bit of my wind at one point, but she settled right back down. It's interesting. The scent control is working. Because, man, she was downwind what seemed like forever. Glad that she's finally moving off. So, that was pretty interesting, honestly, because that big old doe was all by herself. I kept looking and looking and looking back behind her, thinking that she'd have some fawns in tow, but all by herself, and she's a big old doe. I mean, you can see she even had somewhat of kind of a brisket out front, so that's interesting. She would have been one of the mamas that had some fawns down here, so maybe she already started kicking them away, who knows. Either way, pretty cool encounter because, like I said, she was downwind of me the whole time and never spooked, so that one moment I thought she got me, but she calmed right back down, so got about the sun's starting to dip. Probably got about a half hour, 45 minutes yet, so we're gonna hang out in here. So far, pretty cool evening. The wind has started to lay down, and as you can see, evening thermals carrying it right down the stand, which makes it tough. Like I said, this spot is so tricky to hunt. And I don't understand what's up with the crow fest down here this year. They are absolutely insane. At first I was kind of worried about, as dry as it's been and stuff, like, they're down here feeding on deer that, met their demise to the dreaded EHD, but haven't seen any evidence of any of that, so they seem to just be out feeding in the harvested fields and roosting in here. I wish they would move on. It kind of gets a little annoying, to be honest with you. Oh well, we take everything as it comes. So, the West Thicket apparently is fantastic crow roosting habitat. We did a good job there. They have taken up residence in the West Thicket for sure. Like I said, we'll take it as it goes, but managing crows, EJ's got it down. Well, camera light is going away fast. Still a few minutes here where we could have something come out, but I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up as the crows still go crazy in the background. All in all, not too bad of an evening. I mean, I know one big doe, but honestly, as warm as it was, I didn't expect much, but it just felt good to be out sitting. Like I said earlier, it's what we wait for all year, so very enjoyable evening sit, and probably not get any hunts in the rest of the weekend. It's supposed to be 78 tomorrow, so I'm gonna go down and help my grandpa do some stuff, and on Sunday is a high of 84, so not exactly conducive to good deer hunting conditions. So on Sunday, though, I probably will put a video up. Believe it or not, we have had some trouble with some trespassing just the last week. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that on Sunday. So I'll be in the land and put a little video together for you. Look for that Sunday evening. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and wrap this October 18th episode up. If you would, hey, hit that like and subscribe. And click the little notification bell, and you'll get notified when we post these up. So, as I always say, until next time, for the Edge Whitetails, I'm Eric Johnston, and remember to get outdoors.